Dorian finally makes a move. After battering the Bahamas for 36 hours across Grand Bahama, Dorian is now moving its way towards northwest and north. But there's still tropical storm warnings in effect for Grand Bahama and the Apico Islands, simply because of the feeder bands that were coming out of Dorian will continue to bring some intense thunderstorms, some heavy showers as well, and also the possibility of tornadoes in some of those feeder bands. So they're not out of the woods as yet, but as Dorian makes its move further towards the north, it will likely leave Grand Bahama, at least with some improving conditions by later on tonight, but more so through early on Wednesday. So looking at Dorian there, we basically have now begun to see Dorian making that move towards the west and now towards the northwest, and eventually should begin to speed towards the north as we get towards the middle of the week. The main reason is that we now have that area of high, which is building. It is now steering the system towards north. Also, we have a trough leaving the coastline there that will likely increase the speed of Dorian and push it along its way. It should stay over waters along the east coast of the United States, but any sort of a slight deviation from that track will continue to bring obviously the storm surge in some places of the United States, alongside with some of that rainfall as well. So here is Dorian, still at a category 2, but as it makes its way towards the north, the Bahamas will definitely begin to feel some relief from the pounding that they have had since Sunday at 11 p.m. when it came across Grand Bahama, and earlier on Sunday in terms of its affecting Abaco. Now, right now, we have yet another system, this one in the Gulf of Mexico. Fernan is a tropical storm. It should be heading towards the border between the United States and Mexico as we get towards Wednesday and Thursday. So I'll be watching this quite closely. But bearing in mind that some parts of Mexico along that Gulf Coast basically are in drought, so we definitely will welcome some of that rainfall despite the possibility of landslides. Now, we have Fernan, which makes it 6 named storms. We are expecting maybe between 10 and 17. The average is 12. So we could be seeing hurricanes of 5 to 9 and major hurricanes of 2 to 4. We've already had Dorian, so obviously the forecast as we go through the peak of this hurricane season through September and then into October, we're watching that quite closely. So here in Trinidad and Tobago, it's mostly fair, at least for tonight. There will be a few showers, however, once we get after midnight and into the first part of the morning. We do have a tropical wave around, bringing in some moisture. Also, there is that inverted trough around Venezuela that's also bringing moisture into the island chain. So we'll continue to see some of those showers first thing in the morning around Tobago. Possibility of some heavy showers. There's a chance of that happening. And in those heavy showers, you could also see street or flash flooding. So be mindful about that as you make your way to work first thing in the morning. You should begin to see some improvement in those skies by the middle of the day, but more so by the latter half of the afternoon. Now, tonight should feel warm, 25 degrees Celsius in Trinidad, 26 in Tobago, 32 the high tomorrow with all of that cloudiness around. And for those heading offshore, a moderate easterly breeze of 15 knots, still keeping things slight to moderate, 1.5 meters through the Caribbean, 2 meters out in the Atlantic. And if you are heading out, you have your high tide at 7:45 a.m. Now, the rest of the week seems as though we'll see a bit more shower activity on a Thursday. There's a possibility that the ITCZ could play a part on a Thursday, bringing in some more moisture. Also, the possibility of yet another tropical wave making its entrance here, so maybe a thunder shower likely. And then on Friday, conditions improve once again. Across the Greater Antilles, there are still some feeder bands set to come through the Bahamas, as we mentioned earlier. Out towards Havana, some of that activity could bring a heavy shower across parts of northern Cuba. But for the rest of the Eastern Caribbean, looking at fair weather, sunny skies for the most part, just that brief shower around for some areas. And we're looking at highs of 31 to 32 degrees Celsius across the Eastern Caribbean. But for us, some early morning showers, some of them could be heavy or thundering. So that's your weather, and that's it from me.